What's something about ISRO that no textbooks or no magazines tell us about?
The success of ISRO is the culture.
But there are cases where the missions got failed
Without looking at the quick look data.
and experience the vibrations, the sounds, and the energy in the mission control center.
I stayed in Sudheer for 20 years. Roughly watched 70 missions. Light that flows is all amazing experience. I won't call it as failure. We never call it as failure. How Chandrayaan 2 was approaching, braking and landing. All of a sudden data was lost. Now itself I am getting goosebumps. We have landed on the moon, near to the South Pole. Nobody has achieved it, given much. I don't know how many levels of satisfaction that has given us.
What are your suggestions for founders of deep tech startups, be it satellites, rocket startups, semiconductor startups?
Don't put your fingers into multiple bowls. Why India cannot be a production work center for the entire world? See, such kind of stories we should speak out. Anything can happen anytime.
What was your first salary and what did you do with that?
My first school.
Chandrayaan or Mangalyaan?
I should say moon, but I should say Mangalyaan.
Welcome to Swadeshi Silicon, the podcast that is your backstage pass to India's deep tech scene. Swadeshi Silicon is started with a vision to inspire and create awareness in the deep tech space among students and aspiring entrepreneurs. I am Divya Kothamasu, founder and CEO of N-Space Tech, an aerospace and defense company, and your host. Today, we are joined by someone who has been closely associated with some of the significant missions and milestones in India's space journey. Sir, it is an absolute honor to have you on Swadeshi Silicon. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Divya. Thanks a lot for inviting me. I'm very delightful. I'm very thankful to you.
Thank you. So let's start from the beginning. What inspired you to enter into this space field? How did you start your journey with ISRO?
See, space is not my rather choice, to be frank with you. But see, I entered into space domain when space was not doing that much. But incidentally, I'm telling you, because it's a central government organization, and incidentally, the opportunity what I got is in my native place, hardly less than 100 kilometers from my hometown.
Or was it Sriharikota?
Sriharikota,
Yeah,
exactly.
okay.
Because my native is Nellore.
Okay.
So there is a central government job, obviously, and that too a space industry and ISRO, very prestigious organization. At the time, hardly how many, not even 3-4 launches would have happened. It is an incident, because more to say that rather than at that time rather than a passion, it was an opportunity, a central government opportunity. But I am very happy that my choice has put me in a very comfortable footing that I belong to a very prestigious organization.
So, sir, what's something about ISRO that no textbooks or no magazines tell us about, that many people do not know?
This question has been asked by many people, Divya, because the success of ISRO is the culture.
Yes.
The review mechanism, the accountability of the individuals, the ownership that individual people will take, the diligence, the people who put behind each and every mission. Somebody talks about in the social media 40 hours work, 50 hours work, 60 hours work. While it is not a healthy option for anybody, forgetting the family, but ISRO, I should say that when you own it, days are there where I was working 12 hours a day, including Saturdays, Sundays.
Okay.
So these are the things, because you cannot access ISRO facilities, you cannot see how the scientists are working, technicians are working. This is one thing, how much effort was going behind each and every mission. Leaving the families and leaving the children, leaving their own personal comforts. This is the success mantra of ISRO. It is not that somebody on the top they are told that you have to work. It is something which I have owned and I have decided to work to achieve that mission. So this is something which probably outside people may not be knowing. A scientist means fine, they are all government jobs, they are all enjoying something like that, it happens. But it is not so. ISRO commitment, infrastructure building, enormous infrastructure building. How many people would have seen? Maybe for one launch, today we are opening up some 10,000 people to come and witness the launch from outside the Sriharikota. But inside, what is the amount of gigantic infrastructure that is being created to make the mission success? These are all some of the things which outside people would have not seen probably.
Yes. So you mentioned about the mission success and mission failures, right? So in most of the cases, the outside world, outside from the ISRO, they get to see the success stories of the successful missions. But there are cases where the missions got failed, right? And we only get to see the captions or headlines like mission failed.
Yeah.
But what exactly happens behind the scenes once the mission is failed? What's like the next 24 hours look like once the mission is failed, and how you or the people in the leadership position motivate the all other scientists and teams so that they get to rise again and work on the next missions. So
yes, a bit, because I don't think it is so confidential, but it could be, I'll put it as a motivational story rather than telling something what is not to be told to the outside. See, if any mission, whether it is success or failure, usually we ISRO scientists, including the chairman, because chairman will never the place before without looking at the quick look data, we called as QLD. So in that analysis, by the time we complete the mission and comes back and address the media when it is allowed, the scientists of various subsystems, they prepare immediately the quick look data and present to the highest technical forum. And most of the parameters they will explain, and where it went wrong or where it has gone right as predictable, like that. Yes. They present it. And deep analysis, that's what even earlier chairmen have told very categorically, that each and every mission is unique.
Yes.
Because it's a continuous improvement, is a continuous endeavor in space launches. So that means when you introduce a new mission, definitely the performance has to be seen and analyzed and ratified and followed up. But especially when failure happens, failures are not very many in case of ISRO, very few. But when failure happens, immediately the same analysis will be done first instance. And when we don't normally, without going into deep analysis, we will not announce that this is the problem. Before we leave that place, we will come to know, okay, this is the failure and this is probably the causes of failure which requires to be analyzed. Scientists will go back to their seats, do thorough analysis, because telemetric data and other things by then they would have got it. They do the analysis, thorough analysis. If it is required, they try to simulate the conditions.
Yes.
To establish that this is the failure.
Okay.
And come out with failure analysis report.
Okay.
So such kind of things are, even if it is success or failure, maybe some subsystems underperformed, not performed as expected. Yes. So it is a continuous endeavor that each and every mission will undergo a thorough analysis after the. But when it is failure, we work with the grim faces and some kind of what you call unhappiness will be there. When it is success, yes, mission is successful, let us improve it next.
Yes.
Like that the system will go.
Okay. And in your entire career, you must have witnessed so many rocket launches.
Yes.
Up close. But to most of us, we get to see the launches only on the TV screens. So what does it look like, both emotionally and physically, to be there in the mission center and experience the vibrations, the sounds and the energy in the mission control center during the exact moment of the rocket launch? I personally got a chance to visit and experience two rocket launches. One was Skyroot's first launch and PSLV C-60 during the POEM mission. And that experience of vibrations in the mission control center still stayed with me till today. So you must have experienced many more launches. What was your experience?
Obviously, because I stayed in Sriharikota for 20 years. and of course even from headquarters also we used to participate in the missions. Maybe I would have roughly watched 70 missions. Okay, and of course one hand it is an usual requirement mandate for us in a functional responsibility to be inside
There, yeah.
inside the control center, main control center. But every time I am telling you, the moment the countdown starts, that kind of curiosity every time will be there, and people will just keep running to the gallery to see the actually rocket flying into the skies, especially when it is night launches,
Yeah,
when some kind of light that flows. It's all amazing experiences, amazing experiences. See, when we have habituated for GSLV and PSLV launches, first time when GSLV Mark 3 flown, that rattling sound, because almost the MCC main control center is radially 7 kilometers,
From the launch site.
beyond 7 kilometers.
Okay.
Even in spite of 7 kilometers, the rattling sound first time we were S200, two S200s were firing vis-a-vis one S139.
Yeah.
That rattling sound really amazing, and of course when it is going to the trajectory as it was expected, the happiness that we share putting hands together, that is every time it is a unique experience, every time.
Okay. Yeah.
And hardly how many people, maybe 300 seating capacity, 300 people would have been observing this event every time.
Yes.
But I should say that I was fortunate in amongst 300
70
people.
missions, it must
Yes,
have been
yes,
very fortunate enough to
Yes.
experience 70 such missions.
Yes, yes.
And sir, what was the most team hug and the celebration moment that you have had at ISRO?
See, I should say Chandrayaan 3.
Yeah, Chandra.
And Mark 3, first is Mark 3, because Mars also is there, but Mars mission, because it was not insertion, at the insertion time, yes, it was a jubilant moment, and Chandrayaan 1 also such kind of thing. And because I belong to Mark 3, I was one of the project team of Mark 3. When first time itself Mark 3 has succeeded, that was a very jubilant moment, because I belong to that project. And second thing is when Chandrayaan 3, because after seeing Chandrayaan 2 partial, let us say, I won't call it as failure, we never call it as failure, partial success or not yet last moment, let us say, could not be achieved position. Immediately when we have seen Chandrayaan 3, when we are comparing in our minds how Chandrayaan 2 was approaching, braking and landing, all of a sudden data was lost, vis-a-vis it has just reached the thing, maybe a couple of seconds before the world knows, we were watching in front of the screens. I think that was the
moment.
We can't explain.
Yeah.
There is no words to explain such kind of moments.
Yeah. And Chandrayaan 3, as you mentioned, the whole nation, they held their breath whether the lander, Vikram lander,
Yes.
will be descending at the right time and as expected.
Yes.
So the last 15 minutes, what was it exactly like for people like you who has been deeply associated to that mission? What was those last 15 minutes like? Was that very intense? Was that fully focused on the mission? Mixed emotions? What was that like?
Yeah, now itself I am getting goosebumps. See, when we were inside, that's what I was telling you, because the machine was quite confident machine, because even if you recall the statements of the chairman ISRO, he said in spite of, let us say, last minute something has happened, we will land. That means, that's what I recall his words. Chandrayaan 2 was designed for success. Yes. Chandrayaan 3 designed for failure. When the machine was designed to take 4 meters per second ramp down, when Chandrayaan 2 was going flat to reach that surface, because Chandrayaan 2 has enabled us to get more data, more confidence and more planning to be done. Chandrayaan 3 mission was different. It will come, stay, hover, come, stay, hover, come. So that has, whenever that milestone was hovering, it is breaking down the speed, vertical velocity especially. Definitely we know that yes, this mission is going to be successful.
So,
Because the way it is being planned and it's being given the telemetry data, because we don't have any control, it's all onboarded data. It was coming, stopping at 30 kilometers to 10 kilometers to 2 kilometers to 800 meters to 30 meters to 100 meters to, like that when it is coming and landing. We were damn sure, at least I should say that 5 seconds to 6 seconds before, we know that 100% this is successful.
yeah.
And it has happened, and when we get that, we have landed on the moon, that too near to the South Pole, when nobody has achieved it, and when the technology companies like one of the private company of USA and one of the company of Japan, when they could not succeed it, when we have achieved it, that has given much. I don't know how many levels of satisfaction that has given us.
So was there any strategic reason, or was there any reason for the choosing that South Pole for human missions in the future for the moon? So is there any reason why ISRO chose South Pole for that mission, Chandrayaan 3?
Yeah. See, South Pole is a very important place. Why? Because it's a multiple objectives are there. One is because other side is always exposed to sun, it experiences huge heat. The chances of water being there, because water is available in the frozen condition.
Yes.
Chances of, even in the troughs, chances of water being there is very less compared to other part of the moon. So for any habitant, if you want to make a colonization or any kind of living amenities or living environment, if it is there, we require first oxygen and water.
And water.
That is the reason, first reason it has been chosen, that not only ISRO, why ISRO, entire world wants to be near the South Pole, because
Yes.
water would be there. Second thing is, the important objective is, if you can make moon as your base camp for
Yes.
further space explorations, earth gravity, breaking the earth gravity, your propulsion systems and all these things can be optimized.
Okay.
In future, because it's on the other side, that means other side means always it will be exposed to the external other complementary deep space. So these are all two major missions why people are interested in the South Pole.
Yeah.
That is the people now, because having done first the near visibility, now they are attempting to the near South Pole.
Okay. And so what's one thing that the public doesn't know about the Chandrayaan 3 mission that needs more attention?
This is what one already I told you. Any mission, when you say that every aspect of it, every case study fails, how to make it, this probably nobody does it. It may have some kind of design, higher design margins, but that is the reason probably in our first attempt, I should say that first attempt.
Yes.
First attempt, when it is designed for that one, it has been successful. And one more thing is, how many tests ISRO has done. Just like that, it has not been done. It has not been achieved. How many tests, how many types of tests, how many test setups, when we do not know anything about deep space missions, we have not done. Mars mission is just reaching into the orbit. It is not
Yes.
lander
Landing.
mission.
Yeah.
When a lander mission is there, how many such kind of eventualities we have to foresee, how many tests we have done to gain that confidence.
Yes.
Probably outside world may not know. They would be thinking that what is there, 4 legs are there, 4 engines are there, they will just
It
go
will
and
go
land
there.
and come back, something like that. Okay,
Yeah.
these are all two important things. One is, whatever you do, if you do it if you design it for failure, definitely the success rate is very high.
Yeah.
Second thing is, keep on testing to prove the systems.
Yes.
Don't get satisfied with your design margins and simulations. Physically you have to test it.
Yes.
Drop it, take it to the height, and the moon surfaces has been simulated for landing. How a sensor senses the trough, a kind of trough kind of things, terrain is all simulated and tested in a very, very elaborate way, which probably outside people may not know, and these are all very confidential technological things which we have done some kind of outreach, but many people would not know about those things.
Yes. So we also, ISRO got succeeded in the Mangalyaan mission in the very first attempt. And as many people pointed
Yes.
out, the budget of the mission is less than many Hollywood sci-fi movies.
Yes, yes.
What are the key factors that contributed to the success of that mission in the very first attempt, be it engineering or be it manpower that we have, efficient manpower? What were the factors that everybody should learn from ISRO, like getting more from less? So, yes.
Whenever such kind of missions happen, our people use one word, textbook launch. That means the deep space orbital mechanics and orbital behavior we only read in the textbooks. When a spacecraft goes around the sun, we lost the connectivity for considerable amount of time.
Yes.
When he has traveled 60 crore kilometers, when that you are in antennas, you know when the site of antenna is not in sync with the ground antenna, it won't pick up the signal.
Yes.
And when it is going around, we do not know what kind of temperature and environments it has undergone.
Yes.
In spite of all those things, because all these things we only read in the textbooks,
Yes.
the simulating a textbook knowledge, a fundamental textbook knowledge into engineering and realizing and again testing the resilience, testing the what you call aging, testing the harsh environments. First is getting to know what kind of environment could be there, deep space environment, vacuum, let us say microgravity environments, high altitude environments. So this understanding of that one, definitely I give most of the credit to our technical people who have hardly had any experience of such missions. Understanding the mission, designing the mission and executing the mission and experiencing that is an amazing thing, because I basically the industry also, because industry at the time we all depend on the industry, we don't many things we don't manufacturing within ISRO. The accuracies, the qualification tests that we do to qualify the system, these are all reasons for getting any success in the first attempt, be it Chandrayaan 1 or be it Mars mission or be it any missions. See, you just see OneWeb, we have launched the satellites.
Yes.
M1, immediately after the development phase, Chandrayaan 2, we have gone for one commercial mission.
Yes.
That two very prestigious satellites we have launched. If you observe, the cryo stage was dancing. We were putting in a horizontal direction, going and coming to vertical, ejecting the satellites, coming again.
Yeah.
Such kind of missions, I don't think any
Too complex
any space agency would have done such kind of things.
Yeah.
These are all propulsion experts.
Yes.
I know the current chairman, Dr. Narayanan, we were together in the control room. When he is moving like this, how many tensions, because it's a commercial mission.
Yes.
He was so confident that yes, it will be done. We never had any opportunity to simulate and do the trial in the microgravity environment.
Yeah.
Any kind of, let us say, small kind of misoperation, something like that, it may sabotage the entire mission. So that's what our scientists, they're amazing scientists. Their brain power, their expectations, their understanding about the fundamental technology is amazing. That is the asset of ISRO.
So also, as you mentioned, like back to back you have been executing complex missions like Chandrayaan 1, then this highest number of satellites or payloads launched
Yes,
at once,
yes, yes.
and then Mangalyaan, and then Chandrayaan 3, Chandrayaan 2. So back to back, so many complex missions you have been executing, the entire ISRO team. So how do you manage this work-life balance?
That's what, see, when somebody tells you, you go and pick it up something, it is an order or it is an action, provide. If you yourself create that action, then there is nothing like balance. And fortunately, our families, they are honoring that particular hardship, or we don't call it as, if you consider that as very hard, it is hard. If you consider that this is part of your life, there is nothing hard. That is what I feel, that is the balancing, and the entire family, they think that they are doing service to the nation rather than a job. When service comes, obviously some of the sacrifices will be there, but ultimately when you see a success at the end of the sacrifice or hard work, whatever you have done, hard work, that you will forget. And it is every time, that is the passion of any ISRO scientist.
Yeah, also we are so grateful for your families
Yes.
of the ISRO scientists also
Yes,
for
yes.
supporting the scientists
Yes. Yes.
throughout the mission.
Sometimes
journey.
some of the scientists who sits in the control room, they won't go home 72 hours.
Okay.
Some of the lady scientists, they came to me personally, I can't name, I don't want to name them. These are all true success stories.
Yeah.
It is not that one person who is responsible for the success. Like that, how many unsung, unknown ladies, lady scientists, gents, technicians, that is what is a collective effort. It is nothing that, it is only, the management is only faces of the organization.
Yes.
But behind that, there are, if you say 72,000 nerves or knots are there, so many people are there, hard work is there behind that for each and every success.
Yeah, we are so fortunate to have scientists working at ISRO and making ISRO, our country, proud through ISRO's successful missions. Yes. And sir, if you take, you have been an insider and you have worked for decades in ISRO, and you must have closely observed NASA too. So if you wish to pick one unique talent or unique feature from ISRO and one unique thing from NASA and combine to make an ultimate space agency, what would that look like?
Good question. See, ISRO is very famous for, I was telling, the commitment. It's not that NASA doesn't have a commitment, because NASA, the way they approach is rather the more freedom, more rather the distributed approach, democratic approach, the participation of different scientists. They are too focused. I should say that if a small subsystem is there, a group of people, 10 people, 15 people, they will do only that system.
Yeah, complete.
This is what I have
focus on
seen
one
in
thing,
an ISAR project. Whereas if the same thing, if you compare with ISRO, for the same subsystem, probably we manage with 1/5 or less than the people. That means their approach is very concentrated, very professional, very focused. Even a smallest subsystem also, one person owns, excels. He has got enormous amount of hold on that particular subsystem. Whereas ISRO is something like that generalistic approach, because we hold multiple systems, we take responsibility of multiple systems, more work we will take, more responsibility we will take. So this is one kind of ownership, I should say, that is more like focused and very professional, highest level of professional, perfectionism we can tell this.
Okay.
So definitely that is what you are going to see in a NISAR project. We have developed the entire main subsystems of the satellite. They are developing the antenna and other couple of subsystems. When they join together, this is going to be the world's best ever project. I should say, what your question you are going to see.
So the outcome is NISAR.
Yes, you are going to see soon.
Yeah,
And that is going to serve the entire world for long time, which such kind of deliverables would have not been there
Yeah.
in terms of weather control, then atmosphere control, something like that. We expect that that project should be a unique project in the entire life of so far whatever we have done.
Okay. So when do we expect that to be completed? So when can we expect?
See, anytime, because
Yeah.
maybe something, because I am not in touch with last 1 year.
Okay.
Before I left ISRO, I visited that one. Some technical, because it is very usual, no, rocket science. Okay,
Yeah.
and soon it will be scheduled, because because let us not go on the exact date, but it is on the verge of probably, I think, final checks. We should be ready anytime.
Okay. What can the students learn from Chandrayaan and Mangalyaan missions beyond science?
Yes, one, I should say that the interest towards science and achieving the science. Fine, we have achieved Mars, some orbital way we have done, what kind of insertions we have done, what kind of equipments that we have done, that is fine. But when we have not done anything so far, when first time we are making an attempt and making it a success, how much effort and how much interest and how much attachment and how much enthusiasm and how much effort would have gone into the system to make it 100% success. That means usually Indian mentalities could be limiting ourselves, that I may not do, it may not be possible for me. These are all Western countries who are so called advanced countries only can do. Such kind of apprehensions will be there, especially in the children, especially with rural background. Even though they are gems in the knowledge, they are in the innovation, thinking perspective, they are very good. I have seen, I have interacted, that's my journey for last 6 years interacting with students. They should not impose some restrictions on them that it may be possible, it may not be possible, I may not do it. When an ISRO scientists have done it, when ISRO scientists, not many people from premier colleges, from mediocre institutions, district level institutions, when they have achieved this success, they are all my elder brothers, uncles, aunties, why I can't do? So this barrier, this is called mental barrier, should be broken, and they should think very high. I should become a scientist, I should become an astronaut, I should become a serial let us say entrepreneur. When they keep that very high level of targets, at least that's how somebody said, no, aim at moon, aim at Mars, at least you will fall on moon. So aim at very high, that's what the students should know, that Indians are not inferior to anybody, and I am also part of the Indian ecosystem. I should not think that I cannot do. That is, aim at high, think big.
Yes. So now that we are talking about how students can learn from that, imagine you are 21 again, and this time it's 2025. You do not have a job at ISRO, and you just have pure ambition and curiosity on space sciences. What will you do when you are 21 now? So will you start a startup? Will you join ISRO, or do you join a startup, pursue higher studies, or what will your roadmap exactly look like?
See, if you ask me, I would join startup. Why? Because, see, when you join the government organization, you have to act as per the procedures, as per the protocols of the government. It is a grooved channel. If you enter, definitely you will come out.
Yes.
But you don't have much freedom to move laterally.
Yeah.
If you are really, see, this all depends on mentality. Let us say, if I wanted to be a government servant, I want to be a safe fellow, without much passion, without much enthusiasm, without much fire in the belly, maybe government is a suitable thing. Okay. But the moment I said that, think high, I want to do this, I want to do that, such kind of freedom, I don't think you will get in the government.
Okay.
The best way is to associate with somebody who is having the similar frequency. Obviously nowadays that is the startup.
Yes.
You don't have anything you can pick. One guy is doing, I will do SSA, when big organizations even not able to do, the children they are able to do it. When never people know that other than ISRO, no, anybody ever could build a satellite and launch. People are doing it.
Yes.
Can I go and meet NASA administrator? Can I go and meet PM? Startups are doing it. So whatever was not possible as an average government servant or even second layer people in the government, they just 2 years, 3 years old entrepreneurs are doing it.
Yes.
I would like to be like that.
So yes, but I just want to talk about the journey of startups in deep tech industry.
Yes.
So if you take the startups in the deep tech industry, there are so many hurdles or challenges in the very initial stages, be it in the form of funding or infrastructure or talent gaps and all. What are your suggestions for founders of deep tech startups, be it satellites, rocket startups or semiconductor startups, to survive and keep inspired or get motivated in the first 3 years? How do they stay motivated?
See, deep tech startups, we can't put 3 years as the gestation period, especially. Yes. Because the moment you understand what is the domain that you will choose, and understanding that domain and opportunities on the domain, and what is the gap, that means what is the capability that you have, what is the capability that is required to achieve that success. It takes considerable amount of time. If it is an e-commerce or anything, is very fast, but deep tech usually it takes even sometimes 3 to 5 years. So that is the reason deep techs are started rolling out the deliverables pretty long time compared to the conventional startups. That is one aspect of it, because let us not get perturbed because you are not succeeding, as long as you are in the right track with visibility. Time should be a compromisable factor. The second thing is, let us say, mentorship. Let us say you have a dream, to achieve, and you have a visibility. But to achieve that one, what are the gap that you have to analyze and bridge? That gap should be properly assessed. It's not that your assessment, you require a big brother who has gone through this cycle, maybe within ISRO or outside ISRO, has got domain knowledge, may not be related to space, may be related to other electronics. He should assess and say that yes, your idea is good. And before that one, they should have a very good go-to-market strategy. So the startups, the go-to-market strategy is very important, because even though you have achieved the objectives of the startup, ultimately the sustainability is very important. We have seen many startups, even though they have achieved on a prototype, even scaled version also they have done, they are unable to implement it as a subsystem. So here I just wanted to make a mention about the IDEX challenges. IDEX challenges, even though component level they give an opportunity, composite level also they are giving an opportunity, make 1, make 2 also they are giving an opportunity, so that when you develop a component level, ultimately it proves the flight worthiness end to end. So the startups should have a collaboration with multiple people in the ecosystem, could be corporates, could be government, could be multiple startups, to say that how actually my end to let us say qualification, end of the qualification, that called ultimately when you go to the market, first question they will ask is, okay, your subsystem fine, you have proved the performance, but has it been proven flight worthy? So that kind of strategies are very important. Another thing what I have seen is, the startups should have action A, action B, action C, plan B, plan C. When they are not able to go in that one plan A, just take plan B and go, plan C and go. The third thing is, don't put your fingers into multiple bowls. And if you are concentrating on one aspect, see to it that it will come to an end, push to the market, and grab the adjacencies, what we call it as, let us say, horizontal integration, what we call it as. If you go in that strategy mode, I have seen many startups which have started, they are doing excellently well. I have seen some of the startups which have got stuck at one point, they are not able to go to the next step. But for that, I strongly feel that that is where the government, you call it as so-called promoters or encouragement, they should conceive, because the way, this is where exactly I go by US strategy.
Okay.
When the ISRO failed, AFRL has funded it.
Okay.
When some of these startups are failing, their efforts, their hardship, their proven technologies are not just natural. It will not come just like that. You have struggled for 5 years, 25 to 30 people have struggled. You brought it to one level. If you want to convert into economy, the space economy will grow. How the economy will grow? Unless otherwise you give an opportunity to prove them.
Yes.
This is called exactly hand holding. Hand holding is not that you will come and organize some lectures, you organize some courses, you fund it. I strongly don't advocate this encouragement through funding. You generate a business. Funding on its own, it will come. You don't have to struggle for funding the startups. So this business opportunity, even on the last, I think, I am not able to recollect what is the conference our ex-chairman was telling. It is the time for identifying the business for the startups. So for that business, you have to introduce, you have to give assurance, yes, we have qualified their systems, please take some risk in qualifying. Probably I see in that angle, the encouragement promotion should go by the industry, by the corporate industry, I should say, who can absorb little bit of risk and cost. Ultimately, eventually, when 2 times you fail, even though you have invested something, at least 4 to 5 startups you take together, and 5th time when you succeed, you can always fill up all your losses. So that strategy, that confidence, the so-called the corporates or proprietary industries, more to say, they should take, including the government. And startups also should request combinedly to the government that we look for such kind of help. We don't want you to identify an infrastructure for us. We don't want you to identify some funding investors for us. You please give us, allow us to come supply you. You make a technology demonstration satellite as a promotion activity. You fly it. When 2 times you fly it, you recover. See, it's all business, government is accountable for any business. When you succeed it, when you generate the revenue, at that time, you please recover. So such kind of models I am expecting, frankly, to be frank with you, because when startups, when anybody is funding, whether it is DPIT or Niti Aayog, it is not sure that any incubation company or investor they are funding, it is not sure that every pie will generate a revenue.
Yes.
There is a risk capital.
Yes.
So when there is a risk capital, government also can take that risk capital and invest in promoting the technologies so that you create a revenue for the startups, for penetrating into the national and international markets with this certification. Then in terms of even when they do business, the tax revenue itself would be a recovery for investment by the government. So such kind of models I am dreaming, such kind of model should come. And once if it comes, every startup, I should say that they can very easily have a push to market strategy and penetrate into the international market. Let us look for such kind of opportunities and avenues. I am happy at least InSpace started doing very recently EOPPP they have announced, and satellite bus as a truck as a service they have announced. Then so many things they are announcing. Hope that this kind of investments This is something like that, a new way of looking at the promoting the business, sharing the what you call the investments and taking the risk. This I should think that is a true hand holding.
Yes. So yes, government is encouraging the startups through multiple programs.
Yes.
Be it as you mentioned, since I am into this startup field, I get to see how InSpace is encouraging the young startups
Yes.
in this space. Yes, but sir, you have been an insider in one of the India's top institutions, ISRO, for many years. You have seen innovation and bureaucracy firsthand. But when it comes to startups getting associated with institutions, top institutions, government organizations, they still get discouraged by red tape and delays. So, what do you think is the smartest way that these startups can work in such a way that they can build the collaborative efforts or collaborative partnerships in a faster way to get away with all these delays?
See, fortunately or unfortunately, government or government departments cannot distinguish a supplier, a vendor, a startup, or a company which is because the rules are same for. But I am very happy that MSMEs and the startups are getting more privileges and more preferences. What I suggest is basically when they are deep tech, let us see the other side of the coin.
Yes.
ISRO also has got a responsibility to make successful missions.
Yes.
When one mission is failed
Yes.
by any reason, this is taxpayers' money.
Yes.
By any reason, let us say a failure happens because of poor quality or poor workmanship.
Yes.
This is putting the taxpayers' money into the drain.
Yes.
That is why the companies, the organizations are very stringent in the quality aspects and going to the stringent. I don't think the red tapeism, I don't think it is more, it is there in ISRO because to my knowledge, because ISRO is a very fair organization. Maybe I can't rule it out also from your angle because we as an insider we don't see that red tapeism. But maybe your experience I can't contradict also. Maybe it's all couple of individuals, if at all anybody are there. But ISRO has got a beautiful escalation mechanism,
Okay.
and they don't take it as heart.
Okay.
Even if you write a mail to the highest authority, they take it in a positive spirit and they mark the papers to the concerned to see to it that such kind of things will be avoided.
Okay.
So I strongly suggest if at all any such kind of things are there, bring it to the notice of the people without any apprehension, because the problem is many people they say if I complain
Yeah.
I may get blacklisted.
Yes.
No, never happens in ISRO.
Okay.
I have seen many people they came, fought and still they got the tenders. That is the beauty of ISRO.
Yeah.
ISRO is very, and escalation mechanism is there. If some purchase is giving some kind of things, you can always write to the administrative authority, controllers and directors, and they sincerely vouch it. And you can mention your name, because anonymous letters we don't consider that
Okay.
important. Because if you mention your name and politely, see, there are n number of ways to putting across your point.
Yes.
Very diplomatically, very politely, very obediently, if you can put it and put out your problem, I don't think anybody would not pay attention to that one.
Okay.
And it is your duty also, it is everybody's duty also. In the government sector, if something kind of, such kind of unwanted and unwarranted things happen, to bring it to the notice of the top people, and especially there is a mechanism, vigilance officers are identified.
Okay.
And it is announced in the websites, and when you inform the vigilance officer, he will keep it or he or she will keep it very confidentially, and they will probe it, they will ask you, they will call you also. You can rest assured that would not affect the businesses out of such kind of notices you bring it to the notice of people.
Okay.
That is the mechanism, please follow it.
Yeah.
And it is invited, government also wants it to happen, and it is a message not only to you, to everybody whoever is watching this one. Any such kind of thing, unto what thing is there, government servant is responsible, we have ethics, We had ethics. And we have to be user friendly, we have to be customer friendly, and we have to be let us say vendor friendly. We stopped calling the vendors, they are all partners. So when we are depending on vendors, when we are depending on suppliers, they are all part of our ecosystem.
Yes.
You have to, one has to raise it to the higher level, so that at least even the worst situation, let us say you got not benefited out of it, at least you will avoid such kind of incidences for others.
In the future.
Others and future in others.
Okay. Can you just shed some light on the things that the government is encouraging through multiple challenges, right? So, be it IDEX or be it through InSpace. So, what kind of support that government is creating or encouraging to the new startups through multiple challenges, so that whoever the startups founders that are watching, whoever, if they want to start now, what kind of challenges that they can participate in?
Okay. See, one thing is, as you said, InSpace is coming out with big and small challenges time to time. Yes. Example, you take EOPPP. It was a wonderful thing when they themselves are telling ISRO may not do all these things, all these future satellites. Do or don't do, never mind, because the demand is so high. Yes. When we are purchasing huge amount of data from other sources, non-ISRO sources, that means demand is there. By the government, by the private sector, by multiple users. So whether ISRO does the satellite, the EO satellites or not, still the demand exists. It all depends on how you market yourself. These are all big challenges where multiple people come together as a consortium and win it and raise it. Time to time such kind of marine challenges has come, and the EOPP agricultural challenges have come. Is only one has to watch the InSpace site as a promotion means. I'll put it in another way. A second thing is, let us say, defense space challenges. Yes. This is a wonderful opportunity the defense space MOD has given to the startups. I was part of the 75 challenges, and many companies, many startups got this one. Only for startups who got this. And many of the retired scientists of ISRO, they have been helping these startups. The third very important thing is commercial, global markets. Now to my knowledge, in the last 2 to 3 years, many of the international companies, I don't want to name them, many of the international companies, they either wound up their international operations, came to India, they started working from India, or they have shifted their headquarters from outside to India and continuing in their let's say branch offices in several countries to promote the business. So these are all opportunities. One has to be careful and watchful for such kind of collaborations, opportunities. Now so far we have been thinking navigation, communication, EO, but we are forgetting the deep space exploration. Already other countries, they have just left all the government national space agencies and premier organizations. They left the normal satellites to the industry. They are now asteroid mining, they are now laser kind of communication, they are now IoT, they are now into several kind of advanced let us say missions, moon missions, continued moon missions, continued Mars missions. So when you see the opportunities are very many, but you should be watchful. You should be open to receive such kind of opportunities. Nowadays, media, many let us say communication channels are there where they publish. Why do you worry for the government? Why the reforms have come? The economy has to grow from the current level of 2023 level of 8 billions to 44 billions. It's not possible with the government funding alone. And you are seeing like the explosion is blowing up. Opportunities are very many, but only thing is our business development teams are who are in the market, they should be aware of such programs, who are doing it, why India cannot be a production work center for the entire world. I am seeing such kind of things very vividly. Many companies which are, I should say, the number 2 companies in the world, they are now coming to India and looking for either structures or panels or power systems, such kind of things. You will get to know soon many such kind of opportunities.
Okay.
But you should be watchful, that's all.
Was there any mission that came close to the failure but turned around at the last minute?
Yes, of course. I don't know, I can I can share such kind of stories because other people do not know. I'll handle it in a very diplomatic way. I don't mention the names.
Sure.
There was a mission which we have just, it's not aborted, it was held. Then the mission experts sitting right in the control center, they asked what is the reason. The scientists said, is a small mistake, we know the mistake is. Again, the authority has asked, could you rectify it? How long it will take? He said it may take 15 to 20 minutes. Because it's not a abort, it's not beyond that control. Then the authority said, yes, go ahead, get me what is the final status. Then he called a couple of experts, what he's telling is true or not, just have an eye and review it and come back. By the time we had a sip of coffee and tea and came back, right now sitting in the control center, they have given that this is the problem, we have set it, if you say go ahead, we'll go ahead. And immediately the authority has given green signal, it has flown successfully.
Great.
It's all happened because, see, such kind of stories we should speak out.
Yes.
Why? Because the missions all are not, just like that we don't take casuals, and the authorities will take risk. Will take risk. If at all anything happens, it will bounce on his head.
Yes.
But still he takes risk. That risks are not business risks. These are all national risks.
Yes.
I have seen with my own eyes in front of me such kind of conversations happening, and within half an hour or within maximum 1 hour, it has again restarted and flown, and we are clapped. It's a very important mission, not a small, even though it is a not a very commercial mission. It's a technology demonstration. It had happened. I have seen it with my own eyes.
Yeah.
So this is the level of confidence the technical management has got, and this is the understanding of the each and every subsystem the scientists have got.
Okay.
And coming back in couple of minutes is not a joke.
Yeah.
Usually they say that no, let us go back, work. They don't take risk.
Yeah.
But when the top management is so confident of
Yeah.
taking risk,
And the
and
kind
is
of trust they have on the
Trust,
scientists and
yes.
engineers.
see, it is not only trust, it is
Yeah.
unless otherwise you have a subject knowledge.
Yeah. On whether that is true or not, the validation
Yes.
of what they are saying. Yeah.
It
Yeah,
is
it
in my
requires-
eyes,
yeah.
it was there.
Yeah.
And we were about to say that it is aborted, shall we write? He said, no, just wait. Yes, that kind of things have happened in the launches.
Yeah, so great to know, sir. So the kind of scene that you have explained, a few of the movies they have showed
Exactly.
all of these in the
Yes.
movies. So if you see Mission Mangal or Rocketry or Rocket Boys, so do you think they are close to what had happened in the reality, or most of that is dramatic and created for entertainment? So what do you think of the percentage of reality that is there in these kind of films that are there around this space?
See, I will put it in this way. One is what is happening, creating interest is very important spirit behind any cinema or drama. If I start telling my own scientific story, I have done like this, I have done like this, nobody, not even a single soul will watch that movie.
Yes.
See, there should be some kind of story around it, some kind of enthusiasm, some kind of sentiment, some kind of fiction, some kind of what you call that. If that is there, then only it becomes a cinema or a drama. Let us not, because to create interest so that a person who sits in the cinema hall 3 hours we should enjoy.
Yes.
If some flesh is made around it, that should not be seen as a spirit. But what is the spirit? Mission Mangal, when somebody has seen, it has become so many things, the entire hardship of the lady scientists,
Yeah.
the what you call that enthusiasm and that tension that is inside the control room. Even though it is exaggeration, I don't call it as exaggeration, even though it is a bit to some extent marginal, some kind of non-reality is there. As long as they create an interest to watch that movie, I think it is a great success.
So, sir, there is a lot of excitement in students around this deep tech startups, be it satellites, rockets, or semiconductors, all these deep tech companies. There is a lot of excitement around it. But with all the buzz on social media and hackathons, is there anything that the students is getting wrong or misunderstanding about this industry? And are there any blind spots that they are missing or they are not seeing enough in when it comes to the real world of this space or space and engineering?
See, something is better than nothing.
Yes.
I don't call it as, unless otherwise there is a commercial motto behind it. Even if there is a commercial motto, if something value addition is there, we should take it in a positive spirit. That is first my answer to that one. See, second thing is these hackathons and all these things we also have been doing. Somewhere it has to start.
Yes.
Whether you reach the perfect platform or not, that is immaterial, because nothing would be perfect in the first attempt. If you start doing it, maybe how many times anybody will bluff, how many times anybody will fool,
Yes.
and how many times anybody can get fooled. So something is better than nothing. When they start hackathons, obviously there would be some scientific content would be around that. People are not fools, just like that, to go and participate in the hackathons. But when it starts, obviously they will try to scale it up, they will try to make it better next time.
Yes.
When they get exhausted out of their own ideas, they will approach the proficient people.
Yes.
I feel the fact of running that hackathon is a good move. Whether it is a perfect or semi-perfect or imperfect is immaterial.
Okay.
When something is happening, is always we should take it positive. But government is also working. Every year we are now ISRO conducted. I conducted first hackathon
Okay.
in IISF when Honorable Prime Minister said that as a part of Chandrayaan 3 speech, we should take the space science to the students. With that spirit, this is my personal, I should say, contribution. We have done the first hackathon with more than 52 teams. After filtering it out, more than 1,000 teams across the country. 36 hours hackathon we have done for the Delhi as a part of ISF, India International Science Festival. And it has become a boom. Next year, Bharatiya Hackathon as a part of National Space Day we have done, and similar thing is continuing, and many more such hackathons people started doing it, and it should be an endeavor. And if they want some kind of support, if anybody wants to start, already they started collaborating with ISRO. It's a good move. Hackathon is an ideathon, hackathon, these are all very, very good new let us say ventures by NGOs and other people to introduce the technology. I fully support that.
Okay.
I fully support that.
Yes. So also, sir, when it comes to students, there is this constant pressure on them to get this higher CGPAs, and as if that is the ultimate measure of their future. What is your take on this? And do you really think this stressing more on the CGPA is good when it comes to making impact in the real world, especially in the space and deep tech field?
See, thank God that New education policy brought out many changes. Thanks to Rangan sir, Kasturangan sir, is no more. My prayers to him, because I also associated with him very closely. First mark system was there, that was abolished, came CGPA. New NEP policy has come. That has enabled many of the universities, many of the autonomous systems to have their own curriculum, multidisciplinary curriculum, to encourage not only the academics but also the practical aspects of it, spending in the industry, doing projects. That also the freedom is there today. They can call it as credits to the curriculum, and they still get CGPA, good CGPA. So when this transformation has started, see, big countries like India, some gestation periods are there. Obviously, children should not be stressed for only CGPA. No, that is not on. Why? Because they will become bookish fellows. They will not have social responsibility, social awareness, what the problems are happening around, whether they are accountable for solving those problems. Now, many universities, I have gone through several universities, especially there is a university by name Flame in Pune. When I have interacted with that Vice Chancellor, he was telling he has introduced this particular thing 10 years back. And an art student can get a biology subject, a biology student can take engineering subject, an engineering student can get dance and music and get the credits. These people will be, students will be sent for villages to identify the problems, and they will suggest the solutions, how actually, which technology will be enabled to resolve those issues. So such kind of things we have started. We have started, really I am telling you, we have started. And NITs, when we interact with NITs and triple ITs, they have more freedom. It's not that other colleges they don't have freedom, and they are introducing the new subjects, industry interactions, entrepreneur oriented courses, management courses, personality development courses. Earlier it was not the trend. Now there is a lot of change, and up to maybe primary or upper primary level, there is nothing, because that exam which was, when I studied 7th class, there was a public exam.
Yes.
Go, no go. That's, see, transformation is happening.
Yes, yes.
Transformation is happening. Obviously, CGA pressurization is no longer. That is why the different talents are being identified through different routes. Could be entrance examinations, competitive examinations, group tasks, group interviews, like that. The earlier days have gone.
Okay.
Obviously, the CGPA pressurization is not the correct route. We are transforming.
Okay. Great to know. So, sir, what's one non-academic skill that you have that helped you navigate throughout your ISRO's journey at ISRO?
Negotiation.
So,
because when you put it across your point, perspective, if you wanted to live in your own passion, you should convince others.
Yes.
In a polite way, in the frequency which is liked by them.
Yeah.
So such kind of natural frequencies are very important to get aligned, to win your passions.
Yes.
And not to hurt their egos.
Yes.
That could be, I should say.
Sir, Chandrayaan 3 definitely was a proud moment for ISRO, for all of the people across the nation. So what do you think the next Chandrayaan 3 moment will be? And do you think that next moment will come from ISRO or any privately led organization? So, and what should be the scale of that event to be that successful or that inspiring to the people, so that it matches the energy of that Chandrayaan 3 success?
Definitely Gaganyaan. Definitely Gaganyaan.
Yes, I agree.
Because the next rated thing is a Indian vehicle is going and coming back successfully. When it touches, it should be 10 times more than Chandrayaan 3, I should say.
Yes, completely agree, sir. So, when it comes to Gaganyaan, even as you said, it is one of the India's most ambitious projects. So, what's the one thing that normal public doesn't know about it, and can you elaborate more on Gaganyaan?
See, Gaganyaan is not a simple project. People think that, like in cinemas, one spacesuit, something is going, he is walking and he is going up and coming back. If you want to generate, just create an environment for any human being who can stay for a couple of days in a confined environment where he cannot move, what kind of amenities and what kind of environment, what kind of stressful psychological factors that should be relieved, what kind of biological factors that a body undergo, what kind of essentialities right from waking up till go to sleep he needs, what kind of engagement, minute level, second level engagement, what kind of sophisticated systems, you call it as sensors, you call it as sleeping modules, you call it as, let's say, something exercises, minimum exercises, you call it as bath, you call it as food, you call it as breathe, you call it as everything. You have to imagine, simulate and get connected to the ground, because you cannot monitor yourself when you are flying.
Yeah.
Such a technology is first imagining, because you have not done such kind of things earlier. Yes. Even you have a knowledge that you wanted to create, let's say 23 sensors. How the sensors development, how these sensors will be qualified, unless otherwise you put it in a microgravity environment, you take it to the sky, you qualify it, you cannot validate it.
Yes.
So such kind of very complicated mechanisms are there, complicated ergonomics are involved. Let us say when you are sitting and standing up, when you go to the market environment, can you wake it up? Can you wake up from a seat? If you want to lie down, how do you lie down? Which holder you have to hold? Which posture you have to take? When you wake up and something you want to do study, I do not know that environment. It is very easy for people to say why it is getting delayed. When you are starting from the scratch, that too when you have come across some kind of things, a failure has happened, a ceramic failure has happened, material failure has happened. When you are, see, the right from ingress, the astronaut entering into the space capsule, till he is pulled out from the, after landing to the quarantine facility, everything has to be programmed. This meticulous program, when you don't have any knowledge, is a marathon exercise.
Yes.
So several efforts are going inside. First is making the capsule on,
Yes.
making it is more reliable and human friendly and human rated, planning each and everything, monitoring every system from the ground, including communication, including, let us say, abort systems. It takes its own. When the technologies are denied, that is, you have to underline. These technologies are not like simply going to Zomato or going to Amazon, get it. You have to develop it.
Yes.
You can buy,
Yeah.
but where is the self-reliance?
Yes.
Buying is only one time. You can achieve it. So Gaganyaan, so many complications are there. The self-reliance, continued missions of the similar kind is more important for us. For that, we have to develop the technologies in an affordable manner, prove it, develop the infrastructure so that these missions will be sustainable. So this takes some time.
Yes.
Rather, if you just wanted to send an astronaut, fine, you type Axiom is there, you just pay it and
Yeah.
they have accommodated, some training has been given, selection, training, you have sent astronaut.
Yeah.
But that is not the motive behind our Gaganyaan program. Our Gaganyaan program is an extended program. Ultimately, we should have a Bharatiya Antariksha station, to have our own experiments, microgravity experiments, on a commercial basis or on collaborative basis. We should have a continued, let us say, man on the moon. These are all the things, because it is a national space agency. It is fourth biggest national space agency in the globe.
Yeah.
Maybe if you achieve Gaganyaan probably we may scale up to the next level. So we should have a very broader roadmap for such kind of things. For to have such kind of roadmap, we should have a sustained, let's say, technologies, infrastructure, capabilities. Building all these things will definitely take that time. Because seeing outside, they may think that very unreasonable. But when you wanted to build such kind of systems, when nothing is available on technology sharing or technology transfer basis, building the technologies, yes, in fact I should say that we are shrinking such kind of things, we are collaborating and somewhere leapfrogging and somewhere we are depending on foreign agencies to cut short our time while parallelly we are developing the technologies and that infrastructure.
Okay. So talking about the Axiom mission, so when we take the Axiom 4, can you shed some light on that particular mission? And there had been multiple delays in executing that mission in the final stage of execution. So what could be the reasons behind the delays?
See, Axiom mission is a very important mission for us. Why? Because after Mr. Rakesh Sharma, after decades, we are making one of the Indian astronaut going and experiencing what is this stuff.
Yes.
So this gives us lots of inputs in revisiting our own design systems, because an astronaut comfort, astronaut maneuverability, astronaut what it is called managing the entire system is very important. Unless otherwise you have first hand information, you cannot validate many systems, ergonomics especially I was telling. So in that sense, sending a couple of astronauts or sending same astronaut multiple times or multiple astronauts time getting inputs is a very crucial input for our successful mission. So that could be one reason why we have ventured into such kind of missions prior to our own Gaganyaan mission. That will give important information, because Chandrayaan 2, Chandrayaan 3 was successful. If Chandrayaan 2 was not there, Chandrayaan 3 could have been a tough mission.
Yes.
Because we have mapped the moon, that's what the prior experience is always gives us a leverage. If you ask for why the mission is postponed, is all technical snacks. It's rocket science.
Anything can happen.
Anything can happen anytime. Yeah. We have done after 60 missions, PSLV has failed. It's not failed. Yeah. It's an anomaly.
Yes.
Ultimately, eventually led to some failure. We should not call it as, we should say like Thomas Edison, what he said, we found so many ways, how I should not do it. Okay, this is a rocket science, and nobody is exception for that one. Maybe whenever some technical snack happens, we don't take chance knowingly.
Yes.
Even though it could have averted. I don't think last leakage they themselves have identified that one prior to the mission, and yes. The mission experts itself, they said that yes, it requires a repair, yes, as per the published information. But even a small snag is there in the rocket, yeah, and whether it has to cooperate. All systems, when a small system doesn't happen or doesn't give a satisfied result, immediately what our people tell is, even though it is an unknown element, they wish to simulate, yes, and see that this is the reason for that mistake, and this reason is corrected.
Yes.
So that takes some time. See, we should always see whether the mission is successful or not, rather than how many times the mission has been postponed. It's not a simple car or bus, Yeah. Okay, we have cancelled it, never mind. We go there, and if at all anything is there, en route we will get it repaired. No, yeah, because humans are involved. Highest precaution, highest safety has to be taken into consideration. And a number of times postponement, if it ultimately leads a successful mission, that is our goal.
Okay. Sir, throughout your career, have you ever got a chance to work with Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, sir?
I don't call it as work because I am not that much senior to work with him. He was, by the time we joined, he was out of ISRO, and he was president of the democratic country. But I had an opportunity to see him, to take his blessings, and to just in the close vicinity as we sit together. So when he visited Shar, usually we have dual roles. At the time of campaign, we used to manage the campaign, and in a way, I personally get an opportunity to just go close to the presidents of India, prime ministers of India, vice presidents of India. That is the greatest opportunity that we get. Yes, Kalam sir, I spent almost, I had an interaction with him multiple times during his 2 days visit to Shar.
Okay.
It was an amazing experience. Even I can share when the student interaction, he likes students like anything.
Yeah.
He wanted to interact with the students, and we have called around 100 to 150 students to our BP hall.
Okay.
And he was addressing them. I was just standing by side.
Yeah.
Then he has asked one question. See, out of enthusiasm, we have a habit, no, I have uttered the answer.
Okay.
Then he looked at me, no, the question is not for yours, the question is for children. So such a kind of, really, they're all Karana Janmas.
Yeah.
They're all God gifts.
Yes.
You have to, even their association for 1 minute,
Yeah. It's such a blessing.
probably I
Yeah.
think that is the greatest achievement in your life, I should say.
Yes.
And I have a fortune to associate with such kind of legendary people.
Yeah.
Legendary people.
Yeah, great to know, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for the question.
Sir, can you describe the feeling that you get once the mission gets succeeded after years and years of sleepless nights and the efforts that you kept in that mission?
We feel relieved. See, when you are prepared throughout the year for an exam, you have done well in the exam. There is a combination of success, happiness, a relief strategy, how you feel relaxed, because you are going home with a very happy note.
Yes.
So that is something like that. Under pressure, when a spring is there, if it just remove that one, how it dances, that could be the joyous mood. Usually for every scientist, that would be the jubilant mood.
Okay, great to know, sir. Sir, there are multiple labs of ISRO across the country. Can you please name the labs and the work that they do and the responsibilities of the individual labs in ISRO?
Yeah. So ISRO has, we call it as centers, ISRO centers. They are spread across the country. Even though people in the capital, they say that ISRO is south-based organization, but it is a virtue of the technology that demand the functionality. This is so because the spaceport should be near to the sea.
Yes.
On the southern part of the peninsula, and obviously because these rocket structures are very big, the other centers also should be nearer to the spaceport.
Yes.
But incidentally, before even spaceport was formed, our father space, Indian space, Vikram Sarabhai, because of the magnetic equator coincidence, he has chosen Trivandrum as the center for space research, and that has eventually has become Vikram Sarabhai Space Center, which is the lead center for entire ISRO launch vehicle community. That Vikram Sarabhai Space Center concentrates on conceiving various missions, designing various missions and technologies, avionics. All the entire knowledge about a launch vehicle will be seeded or will be sprouted from VSSC, Vikram Sarabhai Space Center. There is another space center, liquid propulsion center, in the same vicinity of Valaimala. It is near to Trivandrum. They take care of all liquid engine developments.
Okay.
Liquid, cryo, semi-cryo, engine development.
Okay.
They take care. And there is another center, IPRC, ISRO Propulsion Complex, which takes care of ground testing of all liquid and cryo engines, semi-cryo, cryo engines. It's in the Mahendragiri, where probably Hanuman has taken jump to Sri Lanka.
Okay.
So that is the sacred place where
Okay.
ISRO had the liquid propulsion center. And we have spaceport Sriharikota, the unique spaceport, which is the second best spaceport in the world, I should say, which launches eastward launches and southward launches, which is very famous port, spaceport, which is incidentally a production center for solid propulsion, because solid propellant segments, it is not advisable in safety point of view to ply on the roads. So that is the reason the solid propellant complex is in Sriharikota, where solid propellant segments will be cast produced in the Sriharikota. In Bangalore, we have headquarters, ISRO headquarters. We have ISTRAC, which is tracking center, which takes care of satellite tracking activities. We have satellite center URSC, which manufactures the satellites. And we have LEOS, which concentrates on optical payloads. We have small centers like that. And Hassan in the Karnataka is the master control facility, which has got a branch in Bhopal, which takes control of the satellite after it is injected into the orbit. Till the injection, several ground stations take care. The ground stations are across. They are in Trivandrum, Mauritius, Brunei, Andaman, Brunei, Bayak, at several places. And once the satellite is injected, the master control facility takes over the charge. That is in MCF Hassan, and there is a another center in Bhopal. There is a branch of MCF. The space applications will be taken care of by Ahmedabad. All payload development, payload design, payload development that happens in Ahmedabad. We have NRSC in Hyderabad, which is National Remote Sensing Center, which takes care of Earth observation, the data, the applications, government support. It supports the government on various space applications, use of data, such kind of things we have. And of course, Delhi we have a branch secretariat. These are all the main centers. We have regional remote sensing centers at various locations, Nagpur, Delhi, Bangalore, Calcutta, we have the centers. Northeast Application Center we have in Shillong, which takes care of the space applications in that northeastern states. So these are all main centers. And we have different centers in the various different academic colleges. They are not technical centers, but they are all cells basically formed and funded by ISRO to encourage the academic research. There are more than, I should say, 20 to 22 centers across the country at various institutions, NITs, IITs, popular universities. This is the footfall of ISRO.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks for explaining, sir. Sir, I would like to have this rapid fire with you. The first question is, if you had to explain the soul of ISRO in one sentence to a child, what would you say?
Passion and commitment.
Great. Yes. So, one mission you wish you were a part of it, but you were not part of that.
Reusable launch vehicle test demonstration. I wished to, but I could not go.
One word to describe the current Indian startup ecosystem.
Very talented, requires encouragement, more encouragement.
Okay. ISRO in one word.
Pride of India.
Yes. What was your first salary and what did you do with that?
In ISRO or first salary?
Both.
Okay. I got my first salary in a small company in Hyderabad after my MTech and before I get absorbed. I probably purchased my first scooter.
Okay. How many years ago did that happen?
Is 94.
Okay.
31 years I have spent.
Okay. And then in ISRO?
In ISRO, fine, I go to my wife.
So, Moon or Mars or Chandrayaan or Mangalyaan?
I should say Moon, but I should say Mangalyaan. It says Chandrayaan or Mangalyaan, I prefer Mangalyaan.
Okay, why? Why Mangalyaan?
See, Mangalyaan is something beyond. Very few countries have. See, ultimately, The habitant moon could be a transit goal,
Okay.
but Mangalyaan is an ultimate goal. You should aim high.
Yeah. So now that we are talking about Mars and thing, what? So do you think that any Indian startup could reach to a level of SpaceX in the near future? If yes, what should they do to reach to that level?
See, SpaceX, you have to keep everything, compare apple with apple. You cannot compare with apple with orange. See, SpaceX is a different ball game altogether. So I don't wish to compare SpaceX with any company or our Indian startup with any other company. I am confident that Indian space startups, how many years, if you wanted to compare in the same language,
Okay.
it's very difficult to compare, because what the encouragement the NASA has given to the SpaceX, it is all documented. Crew development programs. What kind of burning that the CEO of SpaceX has taken, how much risk, what is the supporting, let us say, infrastructure he has taken, leverage to feed SpaceX. May not be comparison wise, it may not be possible, but our space tech, when you see the achievements, the rapid growth rate, when you see, I am very confident that Indian space can achieve the same rather objectives what they have put forth in the time span. I don't have any doubt.
Yeah. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us and
Thanks a
shedding
lot.
the light
Thanks a
on
lot.
space, deep tech, and everything related to this industry. Thank you so much, sir.
I am also equally honored, because after a long time, I should say, my earlier podcast was almost 1 year back. In this last 1 year, I never had. Thanks a lot. Okay, even though a small podcast was there in Delhi, but not to this level. That is, a school has done it. Thanks, Divya. Thanks a lot for the opportunity.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. This is Swadeshi Silicon, your backstage pass to India's deep tech scene. Until next time, keep dreaming, believing, and building.